Death Note podcast. I was watching 5 minutes of this amazing piece of art, and I said I have to make a video to this. This is legitimately one of the most entertaining and surreal experiences I've seen. I'm a big fan of Death Note. I've seen the show 4 times. I've seen it to completion once. Completion was crazy. I haven't read the manga, but let's check out Death Note podcast. Trump, Epstein, Charlie Kirk, it's all here. Let's go.
All right, we're rolling.
It's been what, 6-7 weeks?
And that was intentional.
And you think people want to learn about serious world events from an anime from 2008, from a left-wing capitalist detective and a right-wing gamer murderer?
Yeah, I mean, with how depressing the world has been recently, this is probably the most entertaining way that you can learn. Wait, did you say more?
So, what do you want to talk about first? There's a lot of recent Trump stuff like the National Guard in Texas, or hell, we could even talk about Epstein.
Well, I guess it all really went downhill from there, so I guess that's a good starting point.
Yeah, and are we going to talk about Charlie Kirk as well, or?
Right, and that's fine. It's just, that's a lot more controversial.
Yeah, I mean, if the murder didn't radicalize a bunch of Kirk fans, the reactions people had over his death definitely will. Dude, even kind of famous people, like the voice actor for Hazard in Overwatch made fun of it.
Oh, of course, it's Overwatch.
The dub voice actor for the...
Bro, I didn't even know we had receipts. I was listening to... There's receipts? Oh, man. I hope they received all the same care the average American citizen would in the same situation. Oh, brother.
main character in ReZero, you know, the guy that goes back in time.
Another reason not to watch dub.
Ironic.
Like, especially browsing
Bro, sub overdub.
Reddit is just wow. Like for years we've heard freedom of choice, not freedom of consequence. But now that it's used against them, they're complaining about it.
Well, if we tie this back to something else that happened recently, which is Jimmy Kimmel being fired, yes, freedom of speech means you can say what you want and the government won't arrest or kill you. This, with the FCC, is a very different thing from a boycott.
Okay, so I think over half the population is living paycheck to paycheck. Matsuda, can you...
Here you go.
Yeah, thanks.
2025, a significant percentage of Americans, with some reports citing 67%, are living paycheck to paycheck. This number has risen from the previous years. This trend is influenced by the rising of cost of living, such as inflation, housing, healthcare. Figures as low as 57%. A consistent theme is that a majority of the population is struggling financially. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that. And 67% of people live in paycheck to paycheck. That's absolutely... That's craziness. How did it get so bad? How did it get so crazy? Oh, man.
So about 60% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. That means they literally depend on their next paycheck to afford food or rent, right?
Right.
Well, to me, that means if you get an average Joe fired for their opinion and they're living paycheck to paycheck, which most are, you have basically screwed them. If you can't say your opinion without putting your livelihood in jeopardy, like that feels like the same thing to me.
I understand what you're
It's
saying, but
dystopian.
surely you see the difference between social pressure and the government stepping in.
Well, I think both examples break the spirit of the law, even if it doesn't technically break the rule
I love
directly.
that.
Well-
I love that. The spirit of the law. I absolutely love that. I think more people should put in the accountability of the spirit of the law. Why do we have the law? We have the law so everybody plays by the rules. But when the rules are like stacked against you and it keeps getting more and more stacked against you, it makes it very hard to want to play by the rules, which is society. Society is living as human beings with rules. We have a group of people that agree we shouldn't do this, we shouldn't steal, we shouldn't take things, we shouldn't do blase blase. But if everybody is breaking the rules, why do we hold the rules in the first place? So we don't have anarchy. It's already looking like anarchy every day, except everybody just puts a smile on their face. Let's continue.
To that point, I think we should also set the record straight that cancel culture didn't become a thing recently or just by the left. What about satanic panics in the 80s and 90s or the Hollywood blacklist? Hell, we could go all the way back to 50,000 years ago when...
So for the young people, this satanic panic in the early 90s and so on and so forth, there was a lot of games coming out like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, and people are like, oh, that's from the devil. And I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe. It definitely, like, if you go back and watch Yu-Gi-Oh, that show is dark, but it is a really good show. So, things back in the days were a lot more serious in nature, and then eventually everybody chilled out. But now it's like everybody's serious again. Yet, it's like pretend chill. I can't really tell. You guys let me know in the comments, what's it like to live nowadays.
Grug covered up Bug's cave paintings depicting himself as a mighty hunter, Chad, and Grug as a lowly berry picker soy jack.
What?
Not
My
a soy
point is,
jack. Based.
we've always ostracized and had social punishments. This time, it's just a clear escalation.
Okay, so with the Jimmy Kimmel thing, I guess I see your point. I don't like Kimmel, but getting a comedian fired is a bit much.
Right.
But I'm also talking about before that, when
His job
normal
is to tell
people were
jokes.
making fun of Charlie Kirk's death and then got fired. A ton of people suddenly started complaining that now it wasn't fair. I still remember minority-only spaces, COVID.
Minority-only spaces sounds crazy. That doesn't sound progressive. That sounds like back in the day. What the heck is that? But yeah, you know, if we're gonna have freedom of speech, it's kind of hard to have freedom of speech if we're all gonna police each other over the words that we use, the verbiage. And a lot of people pretend that there's a right opinion. In all honesty, the right opinion is just the one thing everybody agrees on. But one, not everybody agrees on the same thing. And two, even if you agreed on the same thing, you might agree with it for a different reason. So say example, speed limits. We say we should increase the speed limit because everything's so slow. Other people say we should slow down the speed limit because it's already fast. People want to change the speed limit. It's at 60. Do you make it higher or do you make it lower? Everybody is agreeing we should change it, but for what reason? And that's why it's so tricky. Everybody has a different reason to try and change something. Let's continue.
Or people getting fired for pronouns and stuff.
Well,
Like,
what's worse? Stupid people that you can find on corners of the internet in Reddit or TikTok, or actual politicians and leaders doing this shit? Because overall, to me, this has shown that both sides of the political spectrum, both the left and the right, seem to be okay with cancel culture. I mean, Pam Bondi said they're going after hate speech now. So, again, I guess that's something that now the right believes in.
well, okay. I'll admit, at least for me, a large part of this is just revenge. I guess that's a bad thing, but I mean, like, look at the hate speech thing that you brought up, for example.
Revenge.
I believed in complete free speech, that you can say whatever you want. And then, you know, this hate speech stuff came out and that, oh, you can't say this and you can't say that. We didn't start that. You did. So it's like, okay, we'll play by those rules that you made. Right? You had your turn and now we're going to have ours. That's what annoys me, I guess, that they can't stand the fact that their own tactics are being used against them. And yeah, this shit.
Yeah, it makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. If you guys are going to play ball, y'all got to play by the same rules. What's fair is what's fair. It can't be fair for you 1 minute and not fair for the next person. That's why I always say it's a slippery slope and two lefts don't make a right.
You know, involving the FCC, I admit it's a big step up. It's worse, right? And it's like we're doing the same thing that they did by escalating. So I'm sure that when the Democrats win again, which of course they will eventually, maybe next election, maybe 2 elections later, when they win, I'm sure they'll do the same thing or they'll swing back even harder, just like we did, just like we're doing now. So I don't know. I guess it's just a cycle. A cycle of just misery and damaging the other side more and more.
Nagato was right.
Fuck yeah, I was.
Not Nagato.
All right, that's enough of fourth wall breaks, but...
No, for real. Like, if anything, that means whenever it's your turn, you should be better than how it was last time, not just get revenge. And it's easy to say that right now. I would say the same thing 5 years from now. I would say the same thing 10 years prior from now if I had the awareness to have what I have now. So yeah, like whenever it's your turn in power, try and make it better. Try and be Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius. Didn't say that right, but you get what I'm trying to say. Try and be the person that's gonna actually do something better. And it's hard when there's so many people at the top that are not doing things better besides for themselves.
One thing about swinging back harder is just yesterday, I think, the White House chief of staff accidentally slipped up and admitted that Trump basically has complete authority to do what he wants. And then literally freezes up like Drax from Infinity War. Like, I usually try to think of memes when stuff like this happens, but I literally can't think of anything funnier than what actually happened. He looks like he came straight out of a scene from our show, from Death Note, just launching into an internal dialogue of, oh God, what did I just say? Can we pull up that clip, Masano?
Let me see the clip. You got a clip?
Illegal insurrection. Does the administration still plan to abide by that ruling?
Well, the administration filed an appeal this morning with the Ninth Circuit. Under Title 10 of the U.S. Code, the president has plenary authority.
Stephen? Stephen? Hey, Stephen, can you...
So I guess
he made a mistake. He said something he wasn't supposed to say. Oh, I ain't seen a freeze like that in a long time. That's like, I messed up.
Stephen?
Nah, that's crazy.
Hey, Stephen, can you...
So I guess the reason I bring this
Steven,
up is,
can you hear me?
do you see
Where
that
are
as
you,
a
Steven?
pendulum swing? Or do you see it as a cause for concern? Or what's your stance on that?
Well,
Yeah, let me hear you.
this feeling of the opposite party being unstoppable, that's happened before, right? Like, remember the Twitter files with FBI interference, or Google and YouTube admitting to censoring what the Biden administration told them to? And I started getting into it before, but COVID, I think, is a really good example. And I'm not saying that what's happening right now is justified, but my argument of basically what comes around goes around, yeah, I think that still applies here. I think that there's a whole lot more space for it to swing to the right. And again, I'm not saying that's a good thing, but they definitely have space for it. Like, I just want to remind you that you could get canceled for even saying that you supported Trump. Like, can you name a single Hollywood actor that said they were a Trump supporter in 2016? No. And, we have a bunch of talks about lowering the temperature, which I agree with. Again, because I think it's going too far right now as well. But it's funny to me that it's happening now when the crown is on the other guy's head.
Well, speaking...
Look, corruption is bad on both fronts, yet corruption makes the world run round. You're either going to punish them or you're not. And if you can't, what are you going to do about it? You gotta think things through. Think things through. Either be a better person or don't. It's easier to go down the dark side than the light side. Unless you remember where the light side comes from.
Speaking of lowering the temperature, I have something you might like or find ironic. The government made a day for Charlie Kirk, what we were talking about before, National Charlie Kirk Day. And if you look at the date...
Wait, October 14th? That's like next month. He died weeks ago.
Yes, it seems they made it his birthday, but do you know who else's birthday is October 14th?
Oh, no. No?
Matsuda, can you look up George Floyd's birthday, please?
No way.
There's no way. What?
No, here it is, clear as day.
And now that day is going to be a cherished right-wing... No, dude.
Yo, that's crazy, brother. That's crazy.
Dude, that's actually crazy. We have to be living in a simulation.
Oh yeah, no, 100% light. I agree, and I've been agreeing for a long time.
So whether you're left or right, I think one constant is that the government will always try to capitalize an opportunity.
Absolutely.
3 hours after Charlie Kirk's death, the Senate quietly voted to block the release of the Epstein files.
Crazy
so
how that worked.
Well, that's something, which I think is a good segue to move on to the Epstein files, actually.
Right. So if I just do a quick summary, basically Jeffrey Epstein was a guy whose job was managing money for billionaires. So if you never knew what he did or why Epstein knew so many people, there you go. It's because his job was literally managing money for billionaires. So he made a massive connection of friends through that and even flew them to his private island. And actually, the jet he used to fly his friends or clients or whatever was actually named the Lolita Express. So in hindsight, there's a lot...
Oh, man. Not the Lolita. Oh, man. If you know anything about anime, sheesh.
of obvious, but we'll get to the details later.
IRO foreshadowing.
Right.
And so he's meeting or good friends with people like Prince Andrew, Bill Gates, Trump, Bill Clinton, and let that sink in for a second.
No, that
This
sinks
guy
inside.
was connected with royalty, presidents on both sides,
Yep.
CEOs, literally
Everybody.
the most rich and powerful people all across the world. And he was literally managing their money. Like, I don't know.
He's the one to manage the money. All these powerful people, royals, they have their own people in their kingdom, but they're gonna let that guy manage the money. That guy specifically. Yeah. Okay.
Like,
Sure.
what's a closer relationship to people like that?
Sure.
Being friends or managing their literal fortune. But
I'd say managing their money. Trust me, I do a lot of shit never to be a wagey again, especially retail.
right, except that wasn't the only thing that he was managed when you worked in retail?
W.
Where?
Starbucks.
Seriously?
Yes, and then they fired me for reading all of the Kate.
It makes sense.
We're getting
That
sidetracked.
sounds
People
like
don't
Al.
want to learn about my days as a wagey, so money wasn't the only thing he managed.
Well, I mean, this is pretty cool too, because I actually worked at GameStop, so
Nerd.
and I worked
Nerd.
to the anyway, it turns out these weren't just normal parties. He had a massive human tracking ring, specifically people that weren't of age who would be brought to his island by his planes, and he and presumably the people he were with would diddy them. So this
Damn, not Diddy.
guy, who was super close with billionaires, royalty, and presidents, and would invite them to his island, was a pedo Diddy child trafficker, and nobody
Damn.
mentioned it or leaked it or anything else. So it almost feels like all these famous people are in a secret group of child diddlers. Like, that Bill Gates'
Hey, it's called guilt by association for a reason.
ex-wife specifically mentions his relationship to Epstein as one of the reasons they split up.
Oh shit, what?
Yeah, and so when
damn.
all of this was exposed and Epstein was jailed, everyone was expecting world leaders and like a bunch of the top 1% to be completely exposed and screwed.
Yeah,
but then he
surely.
suddenly, quote unquote, commits suicide in the most suspicious way possible, with tons of cover-ups and mess-ups that basically led to no evidence being available. So people are outraged, obviously, not only because nobody got convicted, but the fact that this happened while he was under government control. And I'll talk about it later, but it was so many precautions and every single one of them failed. And basically that led to people saying the government has to be in on it.
To be honest, Light, I'm surprised by how into this you.
I mean, who knows? I mean, he just disappeared, right? He just, he's gone. So who knows, right? Nobody knows, right? Who knows?
Seem to be, since I feel like Trump appeals to you more since you're a gamer Gen Z kind of guy, and for his government, the Epstein files obviously isn't a great look.
Dude, real talk, what has the government done for me? Like, the econ-
Yo, let's go, bro.
Obviously isn't a great look.
Dude, real talk, what has the government done for me?
Damn, bro. Yo, that's deep, bro. What have they done for me?
Like, the economy's
The
I can't get
economy.
a job, we're entering wars, and now it looks like it's corrupt as fuck on top of that. Like, we're now seeing some of the Epstein files finally being released. But that means, evidently, the government has had it the whole time. Meaning
course.
Biden could have released the files at any time when he was president, and Trump could do it right now too. And neither did it, dude. And also, why can't either party focus on shit that actually matters? It's the wrong time for tariffs. Like, even if they work, which I don't think they do, but even if in the long run they do, why do that now? And same for like mass immigration for the left. Like, half the country's starving to death or trying to find a job, and you want to bring in more people, more competition, and they're all fossils, man. Neither of them know what minimum wage is like today. Like, Biden had brain farts regularly, and Trump has like what, a minor vein condition that causes swelling in his legs that only affects old people.
Even his
like,
medical condition.
Bro, they're old, bro. I'm telling y'all, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I think we need to get a president in the White House that's like at least age 32 to 35, bro. Like, come on, bro. We need to get somebody that's actually in the streets, bro. Like, all these old people are not in the streets, bro. They out there on the golf course. They out there playing the freaking pickleball, bro. They out there just chilling with they old ass, bro, because they old, bro. They old people, bro. Get the young people in there, bro, and get the YNs to be the Secret Service too. Facts.
Are minors.
Sorry, what?
Nothing.
But yeah, back to the out of touch thing. Like, if we just had a young guy who ran on basic stuff,
I agree.
I don't even care what party they're. I just vote for them instantly.
Well,
they
let
young.
me ask you this then: do you regret picking trouble over Kamala? She was the younger candidate.
How
after
old?
all.
No, okay.
How old is she? Because if you say 40, she too old.
Okay, so
We got to get somebody 32 to 35. 32 to 35. No 39. No 38. No 37. No 36. We need somebody young. Somebody young. Hello? Damn. And just have the old people be there to just be like supervised, bro. Let the old people supervise. You can't keep having the old people do everything when the world is so new age. There's a thing called AI. I think that thing outsmarts every single politician in the world by 10 right now. And it's not even done. It's nowhere close to even being the next greatest thing in evolution, bro. So what the heck we got these old people for? They got beef with each other for over 40 plus years. They so damn old, they've been arguing with each other for 40 plus years, bro. That's older than us. Get these old people out of here, bro. Get the young people in, bro. Let's go.
right now, I feel like young guys are getting shit on.
Facts.
Not just dating or the legal system or academically with women graduating more than men and getting better test scores, but
W with
especially
ladies, W ladies.
socially and culturally. I think that one's the most obvious. I mean, look at ads targeting men, like with Bud Light having a trans woman spokesperson. And I won't say my opinion on that, but come on, clearly it was a fundamental disconnect, which
It's absolutely a disconnect. You can say whatever you want about trans lady boys. It don't matter. I'm in Southeast Asia. Nothing but lady boys, bro. Bud Light has always been advertised as the American beer, bro. That has always been the football. You're just drinking, grilling, barbecuing your Bud Light. Ain't no way. It has to be some type of psyop, bro, because there ain't no way. Bro, no. Bud Light, it wouldn't. I'm telling y'all, bro, they pulling strings, bro. And it's not even cap, bro. It's all 100% facts, bro.
is why it was so controversial. Or Gillette on toxic masculinity.
Right.
Like, it just feels like the way that guys normally are is now seen as wrong or problematic, and it has to be fixed. And so guys can only really be themselves in their own circles in private. But even that's
not even good
now.
enough.
Sports is a lot more inclusive, and people are arguing, female athletes aren't making the same amount. And then there are also people getting outraged when women character in video games are too hot. And not just that, but am I the only one that remember?
I be disconnecting. I'm not gonna lie, bro. What y'all talking about? Like ladies are in sport, like girl football? Okay, but are you saying girls join the male football? Because bro, that's crazy. That's crazy. But girls playing video games, man, let them do their thing, bro. There's girl nerds. Shout out to the ladies, bro. There's girl nerds. There's girls that want to be tough. There's girls that actually are tough. It's let them do their own thing. Fuck it, why not? But if they're going against men inside the men arena, oh man, that's insane. I never knew that was a thing. If that's a thing, that's crazy.
Remembers the trash talk in COD or CSGO?
Call of Duty just
they
toxic,
got popular
bro.
for a reason, because that's how guys blow off steam. And now all voice chats are recorded and can get you banned, and you can't even write basic swear words anymore. Why?
There's no way to outlet the anger, bro. You need to go to the gym, bro.
Who does that offend? Back when it was a 99% man space, I don't think anyone was offended, because believe it or not, that's how guys bond and socialize and de-stress, by shit-talking each other to each other's faces, even when working together, especially when working together as a team. It just feels like every aspect of a guy has to be picked apart.
That's the part, bro. That's the toxic masculinity. That's it. Like, yeah, I get we bond that way. Bro, that's why they call it toxic, because they don't understand it from the male perspective, and they never will. You're not going to be able to logic your way that into somebody's head that doesn't think like us, bro. And that's just not going to happen. So what you got to do is just adjust it, bro. You got to adjust with it. You can't cuss on there, bro. Call them on the Discord, bro. Come on, bro. Like, you're gonna have to work around it because the world is actively changing always, and the only way to actually get it to change in our favor is to get a young person in, get a Wyatt in.
And become inclusive. And when it becomes inclusive, they expect a fundamental change in that space to accommodate them because now it's quote unquote
Inclusive.
problematic.
Right.
So now with Trump, people are saying, oh, he's super sexist, anti-DEI or whatever. Okay,
He probably
you were
is.
anti-men. Like, if you're anti-me, why would I care about supporting someone who's anti-you?
Cause you gotta be the bigger person, brother. You gotta turn the other cheek, man. Peace, love, and harmony, brother. Nah, and I'm for real. That's literally it. Because you can't fight negativity with negativity and expect some good stuff to happen. And that's logic for you. And like we logical beings, bro. You really gotta do something better unless they're radical. And if they're radical, hey man, warheads on foreheads, I guess.
Well, in that perspective, I guess I see your point, but you have to admit that it's not equal for the way that both sides see things. For instance, you can argue that one candidate was about lifting most people up, especially the ones that are the most disadvantaged, while the other, as you said, was more on seeking vengeance.
Okay, but that doesn't change anything. Like, if you help benefit everyone except me, then in my perspective,
Okay.
that's the same as pushing me down. If everyone except for me got $1 million,
I see.
that's me losing compared to everyone else.
Well,
Yeah. Well,
everyone has the same starting point. Some have $300,000, some have $50,000, some have zero.
Some have negative.
Yeah, well, if you think
Somehow-
everyone's doing too
Bro,
good,
Matsuda talking
you're
for
gonna
the
help
streets.
everyone except them. Okay, go ahead and do that, but you can't be surprised when the people you ignored don't vote for you.
I guess it's just more of a matter of perspective then, because how do you judge a society? And this isn't a trick question, by the way. Like, if we discovered
by its morals and values. If we say the world is equal and we put bad people in jail, yet bad people are not in jail, well, there you go. That's how you judge the society, based off what it says it values. And if it doesn't adhere to its values, there it is.
aliens tomorrow, how would you judge how successful or humane they are? Because for a lot of people, you would judge them based on how they treat their most vulnerable or their lowest members of society. So not just the majority, but really the people who are the worst off. And so bringing this
Sure,
back,
I
you
can
might
see
see a lot
that.
of those policies as distractions or attacks, but to those people, it very well could be life or death.
Yeah, well, when you phrase it like that, I guess you could say I sound pretty selfish. But then again, I think voting in and of itself is selfish because you're literally voting for what you value the most. That's democracy. You have to appeal to the majority, and we all have problems. So I can't afford to spend any money or energy on strangers that don't even like me for the way that I am and want to take away the few things that I have left.
Well, it's interesting we're talking about this because I think the Democrats spent, what, 20 million a while back to study young men or something like that, right? To connect to them better.
Dude, that's nothing to
What you
do
mean by that?
shit. Like, dude, the fact that they did that just shows they don't fundamentally get it. It's
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're out of touch. They really don't understand. And for this, I can understand Light's perspective completely. And what I would say is, yeah, we should probably make it a bit more even in general. Like, yes, I agree. We should help the lower people because we're only as strong as our weakest link. You have to make that strong as well. But just because you're making, like, say you have bad legs, just because you're working out your legs and you're making those better, like you're focused on those 80%, so you can still focus on other things like back and biceps. You know, don't put 100% focus only into that. You should also, because there's so many things, focus on as much as you possibly can and then also equal it out. So I think young men definitely, yes, they need help. I swear they do. And as I'm not even that old, but I talk to so many people around the world. Like when I come across people, I try and spit as much game as I possibly can. I know real recognize real, and some people, they're just trying to get it. They're trying to find it. So I just try and share that. And that's what I do as an individual. And I encourage others as well. If you learn anything, you gain some wisdom in the world, you go and it doesn't even matter if you're big in nomading and moving around. Whatever it is that you're good at, share that wisdom. If you're good at making nails, share that wisdom. If you're good at singing, share that wisdom. There's wisdom everywhere in life because life is just life. Once you live your life, you have the ability to share what you have learned in such lifetime. Share it, keep growing, and then yes, we can slowly make it better. So yes, young men, they definitely need help. And I would encourage any person that's willing to help to attempt to help in their best of ability. And it doesn't mean it's going to work, because there's some young people that just don't listen. There's some young people, they got to figure it out for themselves. They got to do it the hard way. Maybe they got to go to jail. Low key, some people really got to go to jail for them to change their life. And that's just how it is, right? There's a reason why we made jail. That's why I say, like, if you've done something, you should go to jail. Like, these people that are at the top that got in trouble, they should go to jail so they can sit with themselves, bro. That's what jail should be. You should be sitting with yourself and rehabilitating. Like, what is it that's making you feel this way? And work on it, bro. But I know it's not that easy, and I know it's not that simple. So what can we do as a collective, as a society, as a team? We gotta talk about it. Real shit.
Of 20 million, they could have just given any random gamer or like, I don't know, go under an IGN gameplay trailer and pick anyone there that just seems remotely based and ask for their opinion for like 5K. That would have been a better use.
Well, I think they cooked with their Twitter page at least, so take a look.
Damn.
Okay, that's pretty fucking funny. God, now they want to be based? Too late, man. They should have, like, go, actually, dude, just ask that guy, the guy who made that. Just ask him instead of spending 20 million on what? Like, oh god, dude, I bet the person in charge of that 20 mil to connect to young men is gonna be a middle-aged white woman too.
Damn.
Like, I'm just saying, bro.
I feel you, bro.
Yep, looks like that's partly true. See, that's what I mean. This shit was already dead on arrival.
Damn.
Well, speaking of dead.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, bro, you want somebody to connect to young men, you should probably send a man to connect to young men, not a woman. Like, you want to connect to women, you send women. You don't necessarily send a man to connect with women. Oh man, unless they have the wisdom of both genders. Sit on that, let it cook.
Let's take a look at Epstein's letter now, shall we?
Uh-oh, what is it?
But yeah, I mean, it's been leaked for a while, so let's just pull it up. And I think the most important parts are that Trump says they have certain things in common. And then he says, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? And Jeffrey responds with, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. And then it ends with Trump saying, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday. And may every day be another wonderful secret.
What do you think enigmas never age means?
Enigma, please.
Dude, honestly, I don't know, man.
Really? Nobody thought that was
saying
fun.
they have things in common.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to argue anything for Epstein because, I mean, even I'm pissed at this. And when
enigmas never age. Something that's not understandable never changes. Because they're an enigma, because they're confusing, because they're different, nobody will ever truly understand them. And they don't age, they don't change, they stay their way, and it changes differently, but they're all still connected. Honestly, it sounds like they may just legitimately be the bad guys, and nobody's going to understand them besides themselves. And to that, I don't know, man. It sounds like you should go to jail, to be honest. And then maybe that'll help, but I don't know. I don't know.
Even when you just look at the facts and what the government's been saying, it's just such an obvious cover-up. Like, the levels of self-reporting, it's like a movie.
Well, I know that the camera in his cell stopped working, and then the FBI concluded he killed himself.
Okay, so did you see the compilation by CoffeeZilla?
I don't think so.
What did CoffeeZilla say?
If you want to see it, I pulled it up for you guys.
Yeah, look at this.
Look at the clip. Let's go, Matsuda.
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein.
That island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. There are tens of thousands of
videos.
They walked out of the White House holding binders labeled the Epstein files.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world.
Investigators say they found no incriminating client list of Epstein's, no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals, and no evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties.
I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden,
So this is a Democrat hoax. Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah, okay. He said that in the most...
Bro said that shit like, y'all still on that, bro? I thought we was moving forward.
guilty voice ever.
Like,
yeah,
I
bro.
obviously believe
we still on your ass, bro. We are still on your ass.
There was a cover up and it's like weird and all that, but
Mr. President.
But now it genuinely feels like a real conspiracy theory.
So it started with Epstein being arrested, right?
Yeah, and he's on suicide watch, which means they make sure he won't, quote unquote, kill himself. That's their entire job. So he has a cellmate with him that made sure he wouldn't commit suicide. All right. He has guards that check up on him every 30 minutes just to make sure he's okay. Every 30 minutes. And there's cameras pointed at his cell block 24/7. Okay. 2 of them, just in case one fails. So to recap, suicide watch, camera, backup camera, roommate, and checkups every 30 minutes in a federal building.
Seems legit.
Then, for some reason, he's taken out of suicide watch. Then his cellmate is transferred out a few days later, which should not have happened. It was a direct violation of protocol, right? And when they find him the next day, he's dead. And you might ask, oh, what about the checkups?
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Yeah, apparently they didn't check up on him that day. The guards fell asleep or whatever, right? They were slacking. And the cameras, you already know about that because that's like the most infamous thing.
Yeah, it was something like first they were malfunctioning or something.
It's just bullshit. Just pure.
Yo, how come those federal cameras, they mess up, but the speeding ticket camera work every time?
Bullshit.
Yes, I saw they released the surveillance footage.
Dude, we don't even know if it's his. That could literally just be a video of the hallway today with a date changed.
I didn't think about that.
And even if we didn't have the metadata, there's a jump cut in the video. Like, this is beyond the conspiracy. This is just ridiculous.
Okay, let's just calm down a bit. And I found something else that you might find interesting. You know that Trump is trying to make the Washington Redskins change their name back, right? A few years ago, they changed their name to the Washington Commanders for cultural sensitivity reasons, but
that's what I mean, though, right? Like, nobody was offended by that. It's just pointless pandering.
Right, but if that's what they want to do, they should be allowed to do it. The president's trying to control what a sports team calls themselves. I mean, does that sound like free speech? And if we read the tweet, it even looks like he ends the tweet with, "Make Indians great again," or MIGA. Like, what?
MIGA.
Bro, I swear you can't make this shit up, bro.
Please. Wait, was Stephen Hawking on that list?
What the heck? Stephen Hawking? Oh, hell. Stephen? Come on, man. That's crazy.
Nobody.
Yeah, I think so.
God. Dude, I'm sorry, but what could that guy do? Like, how was that guy on Pedo Island? Did his robot voice, like, command or... what?
I'm telling you, man, everyone was connected to this guy.
Well, I'm not.
I mean, yeah, you're rich, but you're not that rich.
What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, like, you use child labor, but so does every other major company, right? You're not that special. I mean,
like, I would stop talking.
We're literally doing this...
Bro said I would stop talking right now. Exposed, bro.
Podcast to raise funds for the Kira investigation. Like, shit, I might have more money than you at this time.
Damn.
Okay, I see. Well, you know that Death Note came out in 2006, right?
Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and break the fourth wall now?
And Epstein was first arrested in 2008.
So, okay, what's your point?
So, factoring in a time skip after my death, canonically the person who had the Death Note, whoever he is, knew about Epstein and didn't do anything about it.
What are you...
Oh, nothing. I'm just saying canonically the Death Note holder is a pedo apologist.
Dude, you can't just...
Damn.
What?
How the hell am I supposed to continue from that? What the hell, man? Are you trying to create some shit?
No,
or...
I'm just saying that canonically...
Dude, stop. What the...
I'm just putting it out there for our viewers, since, you know, I'm so broken.
Jesus, okay.
Point taken. So broken.
Sorry, I didn't mean it.
Oh
Okay,
my gosh.
you're a great slaver. I don't think I've met anyone who exploits people as much as you.
You really mean that?
Yeah, I mean, what do you pay Matsuda, like $4 an hour?
Damn.
You piece of shit.
Thanks, but it's more like $3 if I'm honest.
See, I mean, I don't know how you're getting away with that, but see, like,
Yeah, 67% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. I see why.
bet you don't even pay taxes.
Oh, I'm so glad you noticed. You know, it's kind of an art form, actually.
You don't pay taxes. Oh man, you done messed up saying that.
Oh, and I did see something related to Trump, actually. Matsuda, can you pull up the Elmo hack? Thank you. It looks like the official Elmo Twitter account was hacked, and the guy behind it just started tweeting like, yeah, look at this.
Release the files, child.
Elmo is just checking in. How's everybody doing? Elmo says, whoa. It's probably because he's the control the world need to be. Oh man. Dang, Elmo, I didn't know it was like that.
Or what the fuck? You didn't have to say it in Elmo's voice.
All of this to say, I still don't really get why he won't just release the files, though. So maybe sometimes boring but stable is better than exciting but unpredictable, would you agree?
You're saying Joe Biden would have been better?
Well, I think releasing a crypto rug pull, your own mobile wireless service, a gold Trump card, and, well, those tweets speak for themselves, don't they? And everything else has happened in the last few days. And, I'm not reading that.
Truth Social poster leftist meme. Call it.
Okay, but the Pokemon cards was actually really funny. Like, if you look at the cards, all of them are weak to ice types. Like, even if you hate him, you have to admit that's funny as hell.
Absolute cinema.
To you, I understand it might be funny or justified, but should a government ever be funny? And that's not even mentioning replacing a photo of Biden in the Presidential Walk of Fame with an auto pen, or buying out part of Intel. Like, isn't that not what you used to call socialism? It's just so
that's crazy.
Strange to me.
Almost as weird as our segue into our sponsor, Game.
Bro, that is so crazy, bro. He really did that, bro. Yo, he does whatever he wants, bro.
Gamer subs, free samples where you can enjoy a ton of free energy drinks and anime merch, including some waifu stuff.
Sorry, brother, I don't drink that. I just drink water. Hey, get a water sponsorship, bro. I'll keep it in.
Comedic. Like, talking about how the culture war is a distraction by the rich to keep us fighting, which I totally agree with, by the way. But then, right after, getting outraged over a jeans ad with Sydney Sweeney because they made a pun saying she has good genes because, God forbid, a white woman with blue eyes has good DNA. Like, pick a lane. Or Rainbow Six Siege adding a person in a wheelchair as a playable character in a first-person shooter game.
What?
Like, in the moment, it's...
That's real? Nah, what?
Whatever, right? But if you just stop for a second and think or compare it to 10 years ago, like everything going on, it feels like a story written by a crack addict.
I guess the question is why this is all...
The crack addict is crazy. Let's see. What? This is real. Huh. Wow. This is what I found. Okay.
Happening recently, social media, or just growing resentment among the parties.
I mean, you're the detective, you figure it out.
Oh, you know I can fire you, right? Next episode, I could have your dad in the chair instead, or hell, I could be a whole different character like Itachi.
Yeah, go ahead. Two monotone robots doing the podcast. Let's see how that pans out.
I have to say, though, this alliance between the Democrats and Republicans to not releasing the list feels odd. Like, when it comes to anything else, veterans, homeless, healthcare, education, the environment, they fight like cats, but this is where they have the same opinion?
I mean, we'll see if anything else comes up, but I think that basically recaps everything that's going on right now.
Yeah, can you imagine if, like, everyone's arguing if Epstein killed himself or if he was killed in the first place, but at this point, I'm pretty sure he didn't kill himself. Not because he was murdered, but because he isn't even dead. Can you imagine if he's just chilling on a different island somewhere, sipping a margarita, just browsing the internet right now, scrolling and seeing everyone knelt down over his apparent death? Like, if the phrase Epstein didn't kill himself was actually true because he isn't actually dead.
No, that's not true.
Well, I'm just saying, you said a few theories and we don't know if he's...
Trust me. He's dead.
Oh.
Well, that's canon now.
Yo, that's crazy.
Check out Gamer Subs.
Amazing. That was absolutely amazing video. Korean Sweden. Wow. So it was interesting, it was entertaining, it was fun, it was informative, and it was deep and real. I enjoyed it. Absolutely did. So this was a cool video to react to on top of it, because I got to learn a couple things I didn't know what was going on. I think this is a good way to educate as well, because there's so many things in here I was like, what, that's real? Wait, that happened? And there's receipts. Absolutely amazing job. Korean Sweet A. Thank you for making this video. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed, please hit the like button, subscribe for more. It's the first time I've ever seen this, and I thought it was amazing. So, hope you enjoyed too. Till then, I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Subscribe, hit the like button, share it with a friend, and until next time, I will see you again. Peace.